when I heard the elementary school name Frederick Douglass, I should have known where I had been going. Elementary schools such as this, Martin Luther King Boulevard, names of this imply where I had agreed to go. Usually that it's an area that's a lower income class. What had happened is I had agreed to teach flute lessons for my school's program, Frost Music Reach, in the Frederick Douglass Elementary School. It was a really exciting experience, but I didn't know what I was getting into. What ended up happening is I was driving down my first day with two friends, and we were talking about the situations that we were going to see. Apparently, there had been a shooting at the school, across from the school, in the middle of the day. As we reared in through the Miami traffic into historic Overtown, where the school was located, I saw a lady looking over her shoulder. She looked really terrified. I had later asked, and often I guess there's people on drugs, high drugs, very, paranoid, walking around on the streets. I didn't know. There was a rooster just on the streets, just animals, livestock. It was really interesting. Torn down buildings, faded paint. We got into the school, and I remember walking to the hallway. I had to sign in at the desk, and I went to get a drink of water. Well, the water fountain didn't work. Very dimly lit. We lined the inside of the cafeteria and waited for the students to come out from their final class. Chaos ensued, which, that's pretty normal of elementary schools. But this was a little bit different than what I was used to. Kids would hit each other and yell profanities at each other. I even had to learn swear words in Spanish to make sure that the kids were staying on it and keeping their mouths clean. It was so interesting just to see this side of life I had never seen before. But I would only give the effort on every Tuesday and Thursday when I was there. Outside of class, I didn't really think too much about it. I didn't really realize what the responsibility I had been given. I don't know exactly what it ended up changing in the next months that had ensued, but I remember going through a personal struggle of realizing that I lacked courage. Not lack of fear, but in the sense that I would crumble under adversity like a piece of paper instead of pushing through. This is something I really wanted to fix with myself. And I don't know how it came to this, but I really wanted to share it with the kids. Now, I had never created a lesson plan before. I had never really, given any thought outside. But I knew this next class that I would make the word of the day courage. When I walked in that next class, I ended up writing the word on the whiteboard and said the word of the day is courage. And we talked about it. It was really interesting. We talked about what we thought fear was, what led to courage. We got to that courage is the idea of overcoming adversity. And then we talked about what we were afraid of. One of the students was afraid of a ghost that supposedly lived in the second floor of the bathroom. Another student was afraid of his grandfather's ghost. Lots of ghosts, I guess. Another one was afraid of social ridicule. And it was really interesting, as bizarre as what these children had said they were afraid of. It was very much things, that I could relate to, that I thought that I was afraid of as well. So we talked about how we overcome it. And then the most amazing thing happened. We went to play music. We went to, we talked about this arbitrary thing. But the students were more focused. They were more engaged. We were able to tie it in with the music, and it was totally related. I couldn't believe it. It was really astounding. And so what I had gained from this experience is I learned that 5 feet further effort results in 5-fold results. So essentially what that means, if you put in 5 inches extra, 5 minutes extra a day, you'll get 25 inches. It's exponential, the results. So all of us, I feel, we have commitments, we have relations, we have Toastmasters, we have things that we sometimes neglect to put effort forward. I would just like to remind all of you, and myself as well, to be completely honest, that 5 feet further effort yields in 5-fold results. Thank you very much.